Hello. Okay. So I want to say hi first and foremost. Um, we are going to, you guys know because you got this email. This is a training that I'm doing only for essential and certified consultants on my team. Okay. So in this, I want to be able to share with you guys the best ways to begin growing your team because getting beyond essential and certified, I want to say it's where the magic happens, but with Scentsy, I think the magic happens from day one. But honestly, if you are doing this for that side business, that side income, you want this to be a full-time thing, you want this to be actual business income, then what you're going to be doing is you are going to be able to, once you grow your team, start getting those paychecks bigger and bigger and bigger. So hashtag income disclosure because I'm going to be talking about money. But the thing is I know that a lot of us might have joined because we love Scentsy or, we just wanted to be able to get it when we could, things like that. That was me. That was totally me. That was why I clicked that join button. I was a mom. I was working crazy shifts. Wasn't really excited about my job. And when I came home every day after working, it was, clean the house, cook dinner, do bedtime, and then maybe get to watch something on TV and go to bed and wake up and do it all over again the next morning, right? Like that was my life. And so I wanted something that I could say, this is a little piece for me. This is just a little piece for me. I didn't have to take time away from my family. I didn't have to go anywhere to do it. I could do it from the couch, which is where my original office started from. It was on the corner. I would sit at the end of the couch, and I had this little, which I still have it, and I probably will always have it just for that reason. But I got this little like roll around cart, and that was what all my Scentsy lived in, and that's how I worked. I mean, at that time, I don't want to say it was my business because it really wasn't. I didn't think of it like a business. But that's how I started. And that's how I really fell in love with Scentsy. I fell in love with the people I started meeting. I fell in love with being able to do this on my schedule, being able to do a business like this without having to take away more time from my family. Like if I went to go get a second job somewhere, right, I'd have to take a whole lot more time to be able to do that. And it it really makes me excited because when I get to see you guys growing in your businesses and doing things that maybe you've either said or you've thought, oh, I'll never do that. And not, no, I'm not that person. I'll never do that live or I'll never, all the things that we tell ourselves, right? When I see you guys blossoming out of your comfort zone, it truly is the thing that brings me joy because I love getting to see you guys do those things. And so I want to be able to share with you guys what it is like to be able to start that next step in your Scentsy business or on your Scentsy journey, right? And it's not going to happen overnight, but I will tell you if you consistently do the things, if you consistently show up for your business, if you consistently set yourself goals every single month, no matter if they're big or small, right? They don't have to shoot for the moon every single time, but sorry, I don't know who that was calling me. But um, just being able to have the ability to do what you want. There is no limit, and you don't have to be a certain title or anything else to actually make money in this business. But let me tell you, when you start growing a team, those paychecks are going to start growing even more. So let's talk about how we're going to be able to utilize the $25 join special we have this month. So hopefully you guys know we've been talking about it a lot, but if you haven't been in any of the Facebook groups, we do have a join special this month. It is $25 to join. When they join for $25, they can go to your website, they can click that join button, and it will give them all the options, right? They still always have the option of that full $99 starter kit price and getting all the things, right? They can always do that. And now we have the $25 join special on there as well. With that, they get a mini warmer, they get a bar, they get catalogs, they get testers. Now, those of us who have been doing this for a minute, right? We know that that's really kind of all you need to start a business. All the other stuff is extra stuff, right? Now, if you signed up with the host exclusive kit or the $99 kit, you know that you get a lot more in those kits. But let's be honest here, for a lot of us and for a lot of you that I've talked to, right? You're working your business on social media. So at the end of the day, do you really need all this stuff? Probably not. I will tell you, I don't even know the last time it was that I actually used an order form, aside from sending it with a pouch party for somebody to collect orders with. I don't even use order forms, right? Because most everything that I do is reaching out to people, having conversations, and people either going to my website or telling me, messaging me, texting me, or even I have them write it down and they'll shoot, take a picture and text it to me. This is what I want to order. And so I create those parties, right? And I create those orders for them. So people can join this business for $25 this month and get everything that they need to be able to start this business. And whether or not that is to have a community, whether or not that is to start doing something bigger, that is what they get to decide. Every single one of us gets to decide what we want to do. Like I said, I did not ever plan on this being a full-time business for me. That was not it. I had put myself back through college. I had worked my way up in my job. I was set to retire there, die there, who even knows, right? But I was there. And in 2019, they outsourced my position, my whole team outsourced it. And so I had that decision to make. I was so thankful that I had my Scentsy business at that time. Because yes, I could have just gone and taken another job with the same company, or I could have gone to another health system and found a job easy. I could have done all of those things. But what was important to me and my husband at that point in time was, how can I be more present for our family? How can I allow my husband to start working his way up in his company? Because before that, everything revolved around me and my work schedule because I was the breadwinner in our house, right? I was the one who had the long-term career, and that was how it went. And so being able to have the opportunity of Scentsy gave us that option. And we sat down and we talked about it and we prayed about it and all the things. And we both came to the agreement that if in 6 months it wasn't working for me, I would go right back out. I would find another job, right? It was not a big deal. And so what did I do? I started focusing in and drilling into my business. One of those things, even at that point in my business, I was a director at that point, but even at that point in my business, the very first thing that I wrote down, because I made myself a list of things I need to do and work on, right? The very first thing that I wrote down was sponsoring new team members. We have to start sponsoring, because when we are sponsoring, okay, we are not getting paid just because somebody joins our team. The reason we get paid is based on we are working and our team is working. And so when you have that kind of a dynamic, it is not just all about you. Now it's more about arrows out, right? Being able to turn that switch in your business is going to be a life-changing thing for you. When you get your first team member, trust me, you're going to be excited. You're going to be excited when they decide to join. Then you're going to get excited because you're going to remember back to when you first joined. And what I like to do when I have people join my team is I like to tell them about those fast start rewards, right? Shooting star, which is 500 in your first 15 days. And then sensational start is something that they can earn in their first 70 days as a consultant. And so I love being able to tell them about those things, not because I got them and I love them, because I joined for a hobby. I did not earn shooting star. I did not earn any level of sensational start. It wasn't until long after that that I decided I wanted to actually work this as a business. So when I have somebody who joins my team and I tell them about those things and they get excited, oh my gosh, I'm not going to lie. It is one of the biggest ways that I get excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want them to get this. And so it's me turning my focus outward into how can I help them achieve that? Because that's really a big accomplishment. And so I like to be able to have that conversation with them first and foremost. And one of those ways to have that conversation is in my welcome email. It will send them a link to a jot form that I use, right? And in that jot form, it asks them, what do you want out of this business? Is it a hobby? Is it to help with income? Is it to one day work this full time? What is it? Why did you join? And being able to just, whether or not you do that through text or messenger or through a jot form or through an email or whatever, right? Having that conversation is going to be huge, because now you know why they click join. And now you know how I can best help this person get to that. They may not always decide that this is going to be a hobby, case in point, right? But either way, you are helping them. And some people do find, like myself, that it can be more than a hobby, and they enjoy it much more than just a hobby, and they want to take it to that next level. You have the ability to give people the same opportunities that we've had in Scentsy. So look back and ask yourself, what are the things that I've done so far in my business that I've either been so proud of or I was so excited for? And share those with your team members. Because remember, your story is the most important tool that you have when it comes to this business. We are in a business in which we are building relationships. And yes, a lot of the times we focus on our customers, right? Because we're working for our sales, we're working to build that customer base, we're doing all those things. Sponsoring is doing all of those things, but doing them a little bit different, right? We are focusing in on helping somebody start this journey, whatever it might be for them. So if you have somebody who has said, yes, it's going to be a hobby for me, then you know, okay, great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Here's a Facebook group or a couple Facebook groups that I feel, might be helpful, because you're going to want to know when things are coming out. Do you want me to text you or message you on Facebook, however you guys talk, right? When things are happening, just so you can stay in the loop. That's a really great thing to do as a sponsor, right? Helping them. Especially those who are just doing this as a hobby, because they may not be checking their workstation every day. They may not be looking at Facebook every day. They may not even use Facebook at all, okay? I've got a handful, well, a larger handful actually now, that is not on Facebook at all. And so I have to make sure that I am still staying in contact with them. A lot of it is done through email, but some of it is also through text, or I actually utilize a couple programs like Marco Polo, where I can send videos back and forth, or maybe we're friends on Snapchat. And so I just like to check in with them on Snapchat here and there. Any way that you can check in with your team members and build those relationships is going to help you. So it's not just helping you, it's helping them as well, because it's giving them the opportunity, again, to decide what they want out of this business. And to remember that that may not always be the forever thing that they want. When they started out and it was just a hobby, they may decide later on. Life circumstances start to build up, right? Look at the price of gas right now. Can you help somebody to add some income into their family by selling some wax and warmers from their phone? You don't even need a computer, let's be honest, right? Almost I can do everything on my phone, including printing out stuff, because For some reason, my computer doesn't talk to my wireless printer. Only my phone does. So I will tell you, you can do this business with just a phone. You don't have to have a desk. You don't have to have inventory. You don't have to have sales requirements, right? The only sales requirements we have as Scentsy consultants right now is to do 200 once every 12 months. So once in a 1 year period. So for those people who are just doing it for a hobby, awesome. But I guarantee you that if they continue to do it as a hobby, most of them end up doing bigger things with this business in the end. Most of them do, because they get excited. They start to live in our culture of Scentsy. And the culture that we have created is helping people no matter where they're at in their journey. The culture is all about bringing us together. How can we communicate more? How can we help each other? How can we share ideas? And doing all the things. And let me tell you right now, even when I worked my full-time job and this was my side business, I cannot even count how many days I would be sitting in that cubicle at my job going, I just can't wait until I can get home and do some work on my Scentsy business, because that was truly my happy place. And that happy place for me turned into so much more. So I want you guys to focus on sharing your story. Your story is very powerful, whether you think it is or not, whether you feel like, it's something to even talk about. For a long time, I was like, what are they talking about sharing my story? I have done nothing. Like, honestly, remember, I didn't earn shooting start. I didn't run out of the gate with sales. I didn't even start sponsoring for a while, right? Like I wasn't doing really much of anything. I was like, what does my story have to do? How is that going to inspire somebody? The one thing I did have in my story was the reason I clicked join. I had to go back to my why. And what was my why? My why was all I felt like was a wife, a mom, and I had a job, and I cleaned the house, and I made dinner every night. And I just wanted something that was just me. Now, that is not all the bells and whistles, right? That's not, oh my gosh, look at all the income I've made. Oh my gosh, look at all the trips I've earned, right? But it spoke to other people because there were other people who were just like me. So while you may not think your story is powerful or magical or great, trust me, you can connect with people with your story. And the thing about your story compared to mine and hers and theirs and his is that it's all about you. You're the only one who has your story. So share your story. I encourage you to share it, whether it's through having conversations with people about saying, hey, we've got a $25 join special. I think that this is something you'd really enjoy. I know that when I joined, I didn't think it was going to be much, but I absolutely love what I do now. Sharing what you love about it, the same way we share the love of our products, that's going to be the same way that you need to approach conversations when it's people joining your team. What has it done for you? What can it do for them? What can it provide for them? Can it help give them money for diapers and formula every month? Yeah, it can do that. Can it help to put gas in the car and food on the table because everything's going up in price? Yeah, it can do that. Can it do more? Yeah, it can do that if that's what you want it to do. So have those conversations and focus when you're talking about sponsoring, not just, hey, join my team. Give them a little bit of background. So even when you're posting on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever it is that you post, right? Share a little bit of your story each and every time. Don't just do the generic, hey, you want to join my team? It's only $25 this month. Maybe that looks like doing a post that says $25 could change your life. $25 could help your family. $25 this month to be able to do so much more than you ever thought you could. So phrase it differently, have different conversations, and have the conversations. I will tell you that I have met a lot of people just through groups online. So I like to find groups that I can identify with. One of my favorite things in the world is Schitt's Creek. I love Schitt's Creek. I probably have a very unhealthy obsession with it. I just love it, right? So one of the groups that I'm in is as a Schitt's Creek lovers Facebook group, right? I don't sell my business there. I don't talk about my business there. I just share what I love to do. And I've had people who have sent me friend requests from that group. And what happens is when they start friending me or following me, they start to see what I do. And so that opens the door to conversations. I'm not walking in saying, hey, come join my team. I'm walking in, introducing them to me and what I do in my life. So are you sharing what you're doing in your life? If somebody were to look at your Instagram or your Facebook or your Pinterest or whatever, right? Would they know the things that you enjoy? Would they know that you did Scentsy? Do you share what you love about Scentsy? Don't always focus on the selling aspect. Focus more on the culture of it. The sales will come with that. The people will join because of that. Your team members who are watching you as well, because when you do have your team members, when you start growing that team, they're going to look and say, what is my sponsor doing? How do they do it? Are they out there just sell, 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 sell? Nobody wants to see that, right? I mean, let's be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. You guys probably know this about me, but I do it because my business needs to be there, right? But I will tell you, I see a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I just sit there like, ugh, this again. Nobody wants to be sold to all the time. So incorporate different ways. Incorporate the things that you love. If you have a favorite scent, you should be sharing that. If you're changing your wax, you should be sharing that. If you love the fact that you get to go to the kids' baseball games or you get to go see your grandkids' performance at school because you don't have to ask for time off, share that. Share the love of what you do in your business. And again, don't discount your journey. It is the most powerful tool you have. So when you're having these conversations, look for people and look for ways that you can have them. So that may mean reaching out to somebody who you see is in need or who is struggling. Because when we say this business is a blessing, it's a blessing because someone out there might want to be able to have the opportunity to do this, to sit on the couch and be with the kids and just work from their phone. They can do that. And it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars that they're making, right? Again, let's break it down to the basics, right? Spent $67 yesterday putting gas in my car. That is insane. Aren't I glad? I am so glad, rather, that sounded weird. I am so glad that I have the opportunity with Scentsy to be able to say, okay, I'm going to work a little bit harder this month and I'm going to get some more sales and I'm going to be able to have a little bit bigger paycheck next month because gas is going up. I don't have to put in more hours at a job to do that either, right? So again, it's how you're having conversations. So this week we're going to be talking and I'm going to be sharing in the training group about conversations. So I'm going to be sharing some things that you can have with conversation starters, some ways that you can share the opportunities. So I'm going to give you guys some jumping off points. So you have a little bit of that inspiration to start with, and then I want you to fill it in with you. Remember, people join you, not just Scentsy, right? They're joining you. They're joining what they see and what they see you love doing and how it works for you in your life and for your family and for your loved ones. So I'm going to be giving you those resources this week. We're going to, of course, be talking about more sponsoring as we go on. But when you have those conversations, why can't I talk today? I encourage you to share in the group, good or bad with those conversations. Let's share in the group and give others the opportunity to see what we're saying when we're having those conversations, because you never know who you're inspiring. You never know. And if you think that you're somebody who isn't going to be inspiring to somebody, trust me, you are. You are worthy. You are good. You are smart, and you have the power to control where your journey leads you. It just depends on what you want to focus on, and building a team is going to get you there. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. And like I said, follow in the group for more of those inspiration, and we are going to be doing all of that. I'll talk to you